Good morning, students. Geography for standard 10th. Natural vegetation, wildlife. Last session, we saw about natural vegetation both in Brazil and India. Comparative study tells us that as Brazil is on the equator as well as Tropic of Capricorn, both it occupies a vast area compared to that of India. India is only on Tropic of Cancer. In the northern area and southern, we try to understand what actually the geographical differences are, and we come to know that Brazil occupies a large space. Geographical area of Brazil is more than that of India. Comparative study, it tells us that it is more than that. Naturally, the climatic condition that Brazil is having is also in different modes and is much more bigger, and the changes that occurs in Brazil are not exactly the same that is all over the rest of the world, including India. India being a part of South Asian continent, Brazil though is in South America but occupies the northern side of equator and the southern, more larger, even the southern side of Tropic of Capricorn. So a larger area of the South American continent lies with Brazil. Here we have to understand, or last lecture we saw that Brazil occupies evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, coastal forest. Sorry, this is about India. And when we study about Brazil, Brazil occupies equatorial forest, tropical grassland, swampy lands, horse deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, and temperate grassland. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 5 physiographic divisions. This tells us that there is a large variation in terms of climatic condition. So according to the climatic conditions, natural vegetation also varies. And because of this natural vegetation, as we call it, the flora and fauna also varies throughout Brazil. Brazil as one political land, Brazil as one nation, one country, but have variation in animals, in the birds, availability of the species of the birds, also in greenery, or as we call it, the forest. Brazil's Amazon forest receives everyday rain. Now, because it's a part of equator and 5 degree to the equator of north, 5 degree to the equator of south is a belt, we call it equatorial belt. Now, this equatorial belt receives everyday rain. Because of that, equatorial forests are found in Brazil. Now, this 5 degree to the north and 5 degree to the south, that is near about encompassing the 10 degree area, this of Brazil is a unique place or a unique area, a unique climatic condition that prevails, which is rather not available in India. India is a part of Tropic of Cancer. But when we study about the equatorial type of climate, everyday rain, that is the phenomena, natural phenomena of Brazil, changes the availability of the land in that area. We know it by the name of Amazon forest. We acknowledge it as an Amazon forest. Now, Amazon forest, because it receives everyday rain, so availability of the water is more there. Even the greenery is somewhat too close to that everyday rain, as well as the perpendicular sun rays because of the equator. This is the area which receives rain every day as well as sunlight, and because of the abundant amount of sunlight, rainfall, the trees here are large, dense, and too old in terms of the forest as we speak related to other parts of the world. Second, Brazil is a developing country, not yet developed. So naturally, availability of the natural resources are more. Keep this in mind. The developed nations have the least resources, natural resources that are available on the earth. May it be America, may it be England, France, or some else. Then when we talk about the developing nations, they are now exploiting their resources. But on a larger scale, these natural resources are exploited by the developed nations. And even today, undeveloped part of the world is that having abundant of natural resources. Best example, African continent. Even the Latin America or the southern parts of America, which are rather the neighboring states of Brazil, are also the states which have natural resources in abundance. So the same is with Brazil. And because of that, Amazon Valley that occupies a large portion towards the north of Brazilian state is a land where we find abundant of one water, dense vegetation, that is Brazilian forest, and because of that variety of species. When it comes to the wildlife, we have to understand that the availability of the water makes it easier for the animals to reside there, because one, human habitation is at the least. Actually there is no human habitation, but there are certain tribal peoples who are having their habitats since ages. So excluding them, if we try to understand, it is the area which is having abundant of aquatic life as well as the animals, the birds in that area, that is the jungles of Amazon. Because of this, the sediments that are being brought down by the river Amazon and its tributaries are also deposited to the northern side. The world's biggest area-wise, riverine island is also produced here. Now, because of that, the crocodiles, anaconda, many of the birds as are mentioned in the textbook, apart from that, even puma, which is the identity of American continent, are the animals that are found there. Apart from that, the fishes, as we speak about, the one of the best known throughout the world is piranha. Now this is also the fish which is available there in abundant, or is the characteristics. Apart from that, definitely there are many others, for example swordfish and some others, but largely speaking there is a variation in terms of species of parrot and some other, which are also the means hallmarks of the tropical climatic nations of the world. These areas having the as we call them, the migratory birds are also found here in abundance. Now, one, green vegetation, abundant green vegetation makes them the availability of the natural food sources. Second, availability of the water, natural water, makes that area a place to reside very well for these animals and birds, because non-intervention of the human beings. Secondly speaking, tropical grassland. When it comes to the grassland, keep it in mind, throughout the world, herbivorous animals are largely attached to it. All over the world, wherever we find a grassland, and grasslands are available in all 5 continents of the world with various names. The savanna grassland, or the grasslands of the tropical belt of Brazil, contains the herbivorous animals. And for herbivorous animals, we find that as herbivorous animal is the food to carnivorous animals, these carnivorous animals also move from one place to another in search of food. So definitely, if we try to go through the text, if we try to find out the names of the animals, species related to this tropical grassland, we can easily find it, because photographs, pictures are being provided. And these are, namely, as we spoke about the characteristics of the American area in the name of puma, which is rather not present in India, are found here. Then the swampy lands. Swampy itself tells us that this is the area which is having water, but there is also availability of the soil or mud, and because of that, both the equatorial as well as the swampy lands are not accessible for agriculture. because they are not available for agriculture, here also we find a variation and unique flora and fauna both in these lands. Swampy lands of Brazil are somewhat bigger in size. They are also towards the western sides of Brazil, entering into other lands. That is, some of the states of the western sides of Brazil, namely Argentina and some other parts, are the nations having these swampy lands. Now they too have, but broadly speaking, this is also the area, the equatorial western side of equator or the Amazon forest. Swampy lands are also the areas where human habitation is very less. Because of the non-intervention of the humans, these animals, these birds, as well as the plants resides there very well. They are having the placement well suited for their life, and that is the main reason. Also, we know that equatorial forests are known as the sinkhole or the lungs of the world, because they provide more than 20% or nearly 20% oxygen to the world. As they provide oxygen more or the near about 20% of to the world, so they also absorb the carbon dioxide, and because of that they are of utmost or precious, that is this precious for the world, all over the world. After that means in this swampy land we also find anacondas, which are also available in Equatorial. These are the unique areas which or where we find some variation compared to that of India. And also many of the trees that are available in the tropical belt, from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, from here to here, all over the world, are also available in Brazil. Apart from that, Brazil have its own greenery, and that is well favorable for preserving the green zone or vegetation, as we call it, of the Brazil. Now, Brazil is also facing the same problems as India is facing. Though after India, that means industrialization started in India first prior to that of Brazil. But even today, as industrialization is blooming up, gaining momentum in Brazil, Brazil is also facing the problem of deforestation. Brazil is also facing the problems of cutting down of the trees, and because of that, it is hampering, it is having its negative impact on climatic condition. Naturally, the negative impact on climatic conditions are also the one that will affect the living habitats of the wildlife. Now, wildlife, they are directly associated with the nature, and this is the main reason some of the species that are the identities of Brazil are on the verge of extinct. We can find it more easily if we try to understand how vegetation is affected in the name of development. And because deforestation is taking place, the living habitats of wildlife is also getting disturbed. Now, because of this, though the swamplands, equatorial forests are the characteristic features in terms of wildlife, flora and fauna of Brazil, both are today not the same as once Brazil was known for it. Definitely, hot deciduous forest, Brazil's this area is somewhat where we find thorny shrubs and hot deciduous forest. Deciduous itself means trees that shed leaves. When the availability of the water during the summer is less, trees shed their leaves, and the tissues of these trees hold water. They have that ability to hold on water, and they survive for the remaining part of the summer. This is the same with the Brazil. Now, related to that, the animals, the wildlife, and the birds also are related to it. So, in various areas of Brazil, we find various animals. As we spoke about the unique feature of anaconda in this area, we will not find the same in these areas. Simple reason: non-availability of abundance of water. Because of the less availability of water in hot, thorny and temperate grassland, we will see that anacondas are not available in, and this is naturally experienced by students also in their day-to-day life. If we try to find the ecological balance that is available in our play yard, wherever you are living, even in Akola, the areas where we are living do not have the same type of mud soil, the same type of climatic condition because of the concrete jungle means because of the concretization of the city and availability of water. The areas where grass prevails, or the families that are associated with the garden, we call them the garden lovers or the green plants holders. Minute insects are there on large scale. This is also the part and parcel of these jungles of Brazil. Variety of insects are found in Brazil. Need not to name them. It is expected that the world's largest numbers of these smaller insects, minute insects which cannot be rather viewed even by the naked eyes, are available in Brazil on the most. And that is why it contains the most amount of, in percentage, the living organisms in Brazil. All these are now slowly getting affected because of deforestation. Deforestation because of industrialization, because of agriculture, because of the technical inputs or the technologies that are put to use, and they are disturbing the climatic condition. It's not always that the trees, because the trees are being cut down, the natural gets hampered. No. Sometimes because of the excessive use of the plastics, because of the excessive use of insecticides, fertilizers, pesticides that are for the better achievements by the farmers, the companies propagate them on large scale, and then we find that it affects the vegetation. Vegetation is directly related to the habitats of the animals and birds, so naturally they also get the temperate grassland. Grassland itself tells us that the tropical grassland and temperate grassland, it is because of the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn. These both areas are having a unique variety of greenery, and because of this greenery having variation, animals are also attached to it in variation. They do also have the herbivorous animals, and these herbivorous animals being the food to the some carnivorous animals, these carnivorous animals are found there. And this is how we can conclude with the changing trend of the Brazil. But today you have to understand that the irregularity of the rainfall, in the name of industrialization, the deforestation that is taking place, in the name of advanced agriculture, the insecticides, the pesticides, the fertilizers that are or the chemicals that are being used more in vegetation is affecting the productivity of the soil, and this soil's productivity is on the other side affecting the vegetation, the forest, the animals, and because of this the food, the shelter places of the wildlife are also being disturbed. Naturally, they are on the verge of extinct. Even poaching, as we know that people kill the animals for financial gains, economical gains, is also taking place in Brazil. On large scale, nowadays, one of the biggest problem Brazil and Brazilian forests are facing is the fire that catches in the forest of Amazon. Some months ago, we know that the Brazil forest was burning for more than or near about a month. From this we can understand that how all these things must be happening. In 2017, not 19, 2017, a survey tells us that, 17 or 18, a survey tells us that more than 5,000 square kilometers of the Brazilian forest were destroyed in the name of development. Development means not only industrialization. Development also is in the name of agriculture. Development is also in the name of urbanization. Development is also in the name of increasing the yield of the farmlands. And all this slowly affects the uniqueness of nature. Nature related to the vegetation and wildlife. This is related to Brazil. The names definitely you will have to understand from your textbook. Now we will move towards India. Being a student of this land, being a citizen of this land, we know that India also have 5 physiographic divisions, just like that of Brazil. But India is in the northern hemisphere on the Tropic of Cancer. It is neither on the equator nor in southern hemisphere. So the uniqueness that India itself is having is one Himalayan forest, and to certain extent we can say coastal forest, because in India, as everywhere on the world, India also have evergreen forest. Now these evergreen forests are directly related to the availability of the rain. When we study about India, we have to understand that this is the area which is the wettest area on the earth. Rather speaking broadly, this is the area northeast where rain occurs on the to a longer duration, it is near about 8 to 9 months. Near about 8 months rainfall occurs here, and that is why it is the wettest place on the earth. After northeast, this is the area in Karnataka, which is the wettest, having more than near about 7,000 millimeters of rainfall. Now, naturally, as we find it here, because of the eastern Himalayas, is also known as eastern Himalaya, Meghalaya, then Mizoram, Nagaland, these are the areas which are too close to that rainfall. This is the area in Karnataka where we find abundance of rainfall. But the duration of the rainfall year and year varies. It is only up to 4 months. And this is the area of Western Ghats. Now, this Western Ghats, a continuous line to the western coast, is one of the demarcated area rich in flora and fauna in terms of India. Here we have green forest. Now, evergreen forests are the forest where trees are green throughout the year. Naturally, they attract the birds, they attract the animals for their food. And then a variation or variety of animals are found in this area. So is related with the deciduous. The central part on the large scale where rainfall is less, or rainfall is less than 3,500 millimeters in central India and to some extent to the north, that is the northern plains, deciduous forests are found. Teak, sal as we call it, mahogany, these are some of the trees. In India, we shade the tree. We know that one of the, as we call it, badam, the almond tree which is being planted in Akola at many of the residents, shade their leaves. The guava tree, shade their leaves. Now, these are deciduous forest. These are the trees which shed their leaves during a specific time period, definitely new again in the month or from the duration that begins with the month of Chaitra according to the Hindu calendar, is a time when trees regain their leaves. Now, this is where the deciduous forests are important. Definitely, with the deciduous forest, certain animals and birds are related. India is the only land where we find lion and tiger in one political and geographical area. India is the only land where we find lions and tigers at a time. When we speak about the cheetah, we know that in India it is not possible for a cheetah to reside now, or India is not a good habitat place for cheetah, though it was once. Just because after every 100 or 150 kilometers we find one urbanized area. And the area that is needed for these animals proves us that the habitat for the wildlife or the area that is responsible for the shelters of the wildlife are not according to their living standard. And then we find the clashes amongst the animals, the birds and the people who are directly related either with the wildlife or agriculture. And in this way we come to know that because of the availability of less amount of the forest area, this wildlife comes in confrontation with the villagers, naturally affecting in the clashes, and wildlife dies or is being killed. So these deciduous forest and evergreen forest, though they have the best examples in the name of the variety of the flora and fauna, there is also a long or a vast area in India which is also related to the thorny shrubs. Definitely, thorny shrubs are related with the western side, northwestern side, that is Rajasthan, Gujarat, and then the middle portion, up to the south, a vast area to a selected catchment, that is the rain shadow zone of this Western Ghats, Sahyadris, is also the thorny shrubs. As I spoke, thorny trees are those trees which do not have enough height or are to the medium height and shade their leaves, also have that thorns, because these thorns have the ability or the tissues to hold on the water. So in these areas where the rainfall is less than not only 500 but below 350 millimeters are the areas which are the hot areas of the world. And there we find this thorny shrub. Shrub means a plant which do not fully or does not fully flourish as in the evergreen or deciduous forest. After that, a unique feature of Indian forest or natural habitation is Himalayan forest. In Himalaya, because of the climatic condition that is totally different from rest of India, is something that the greenery as well as the wildlife related to each other totally is apart from the rest of India. In the Himalayas, when we speak, India being too close to the northern hemisphere, the area, that is the Himalayan area of India, is such that these Himalayan areas are such that they receive rainfall for a small time period, just for a month or month and a half, but after that snowfall occurs, and because of the snowfall the area gets covered with white snow. So a long or a prolonged time period of a year, we see that these areas are snow covered. Naturally, vegetation is not the same that is available here. But then also, as the elevation, as the height grows on in Himalaya, we find certain trees. Yes, definitely teak, one. Then to the elevation, we can relate them with the alpines. These are the trees. As we go on the upper areas, we find. But when we move towards the Trans-Himalayan or the Kargil or the Karakoram range, as we call it, because of the excessive snowfall, keep it in mind, this is the area of the world where most of the snowfall occurs. It is said that the glaciers after the northern poles and the southern poles are found in this area. The third link, or as we call it, the Himadri. The Himadris are the mountain ranges of India where snowfall occurs to a great height. The Karakoram range, Kargil range, that is the area where we find more than an abundant amount next to the polar region. That is what it is, the unique feature of this area. So naturally, no green vegetation, the least of the animal. Yet there are certain animals which are habitats of this area, particularly the upper parts of the Kashmir. As we move the upper parts of the Kashmir and the heights of the mountain goes on elevation, we find that these areas have a specific or a unique time period when the glaciers melt, and for a specific time period, a month or so, more than that, because of the sunlight, that is the summer in that area, because of the sunlight, green vegetation flourish. This flourishing green vegetation provides food for a longer duration to the animals living in that area. Now, in these animals, one of the unique animals of India is a white leopard. White leopard is the animal which is found only in this area. So naturally, and definitely, all the animals are related to one another. In biology, I think you must have studied about the food chain. The food cycle or the food chain, if you are being able to understand, you can understand throughout the world how animals are related to one another. The herbivorous, the carnivorous, the omnivorous, and similarly the trees or the green vegetation that provide shelter and food to these animals, or even the birds. Now they are all related to one another. So in India we find 8 varieties of deer because of the grassland, because of the forest that are available, and because of the grass that is the unique feature of the central India. We find variation in the deers also. India is the only land where we find 8 species of deers. Also, elephants are available in the coastal area, and particularly here in the south, we find that an area is being reserved for elephants. And this is how, as we have know about the tiger reserve projects, so is the elephant reserve project. There are also some areas in Maharashtra near Kolhapur, in Bharatpur in Rajasthan. For the birds, the sanctuaries are being reserved. So not only in the name of tiger, but also even in Gujarat, if we try to know, the lion, the Bengal tiger, some of the variations of the animals in the Himalayan sectors, apart from white leopard, there are variety of flora and fauna available in India, and that makes India a rich place to live in. Also, we have to understand that while understanding all this, India have a large amount of Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, apart from this Sri Lanka. Now, these are also the coastal areas, and they have their unique face, a unique availability of the forest trees. Rudraksh, as we know, having its Ayurvedic properties, or in the cultural ties, the religious part of Hinduism. These Rudraksh trees are found in these coastal areas. Also, they are available in the Himalayan sectors to certain extent. Apart from that, coconut, these trees, and these trees are rather also related with the animals in these areas, the birds of these areas. Now, this unique feature, India is also having a variety of parrots, sparrow. Apart from that, variation in the birds, the chirping birds as we call them, and that makes all these things makes India one of the best places in the world in terms of flora and fauna. Though India occupies a small place in terms of area, it occupies a large amount of one habitat for the birds. These areas are also the habitats to the migratory birds. The the Serbian crane, as the name itself reflects us, crosses the Himalayas from the north to reach India every year. Not only that, apart from that, there are many others. A unique means feature of India is that it provides shelter to the coastal areas, the Sundarbans, the swampy lands of India. Sundarbans is a unique place which is a riverine area created on a large scale by the rivers delta. The deltas of this area, and it is after Brazil. This is the area which is of utmost importance in terms of maintaining the ecological balance. Naturally, there are the rivers, as we know the Ganga. Apart from Ganga and Yamuna, there are many other rivers that enters into the Bay of Bengal. But here also, alligators, crocodiles are found, tortoise are found on the eastern coast at many places. The unique feature of Western Ghat is octopus, the rarely found animal or the aquatic life in India or on the coast of India. So is also the uniqueness in terms of variation of the snakes. As we always speak about the anaconda of Brazil, or in Brazil, as we know that anacondas are available here. Here are some of the snakes which are either we can say either very poisonous or unique feature characteristics of this land. They are available in these areas only. When it comes to the snakes, we have to understand the snakes that are available at the coastal areas near Sri Lanka is the poisonous snake, one of the poisonous snakes of the world. And also in the grasslands, as we have some of the grassland, we have to understand that these are the areas that provide shelter. And because of this, till today, we find that many of the wandering tribes of Rajasthan, Gujarat, moves for the food and they complete the circle in a year. Now, this is how the climate is closely related with greenery, and this greenery is closely related with the this vegetation is closely related with the wildlife. Wildlife means not only the animals that are carnivorous, but these animals create a ecological balance in all over the land, for all over the land, and that is why an international community accepts that near about 33 or more than 30% of the land must be under forest area. But in the name of development, India is also facing the same problem. The Himalayas are the young fold mountains, so naturally disaster is taking place there every year in terms of nature. Natural disasters occupy here, disturbing the ecological balance of the land. Second, when it comes to these areas, though this is the shield, Deccan Plateau is said to be the shield area, yet deforestation, climatic imbalance, and also the fertilizers, insecticides or chemicals being used on large scale in the name of development in agriculture as well as other industries is hampering the ecological balance in this area. This greenery in other term, is disturbing the wildlife or the shelter places for many of the animals, birds, and because of that, many of the species India have lost till today and are also on the verge of extinction. If we want to preserve all this, we have to accept the challenge of maintaining the green vegetation. That is why natural vegetation is directly related to wildlife. Though we speak, India is rich enough in having the species of wildlife, birds, yet we have to understand that it is not without green vegetation. Agriculture as well as forest both are important for human beings because this forest provides the uniqueness in the availability for the shelters of wildlife, birds and others. Hope you understood this.